Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
I probably shouldn't be making a video today. I am angry, almost to the point of not being able to speak. Maybe we should go back and dig up the commanders of Pearl Harbor and posthumously charge them with dereliction of duty and negligent homicide. 2,400 counts. They should be able to get one to stick, don't you think? That's how many people died in Pearl Harbor. That commander was asleep, as was most of the Navy at the time. But, as we see, it's clearly their job in their sleep to make up for the failures in Washington, D.C. If you want to be pissed off about something, folks, I mean, I've seen everything on YouTube from soup to nuts, conspiracy theories, all about the government. If you want to be angry, this should get you livid. This absolutely should get you livid. That they're going to hang, figuratively, these men. You see, I think I know what they're trying to say here. I think what they're trying to say here is that even if the ACX Crystal was in attack mode, was doing something nefarious, was attempting to target a Navy ship, that it doesn't matter. That it doesn't matter. That the ship should have somehow magically been able to know that, have been still on a war footing, and been able to avoid the collision. And if not, instead of standing up and accepting an intelligence failure or telling us the real story of what happened, we're going to go ahead and we're going to ruin the lives of 3 of our finest. Like I said, I really shouldn't be. I shouldn't be surprised, actually, because they did this. The commander of Pearl Harbor was thrown under the bus. A lot of people don't know that. He retired after that. In fact, he retired before the war really even got going. I mean, forget the fact that he actually had written a memo stating that a sneak attack on his command was likely. That didn't matter. And it didn't matter that important communications and memos from Washington that this was in the works, that they knew about it, didn't get communicated to him or his command. No, that didn't matter. Nope. They threw him under the bus. They pointed the finger at him. Just like they're doing now. The blindness in our government is epic. It's absolutely epic. This man is a good man, but he is very myopic when it comes to this region. And I know we kind of pivoted here to Venezuela, but I think it's the same symptom. They don't understand how disliked the United States is at this moment in time. And that is something that I actually will stand with Trump supporters on. I don't disagree with you on everything. That the U.S. has a perception problem around the world, primarily due to the last 8 years. Maduro is not an unpopular man. They don't blame Maduro down there. There's a small faction, a small wing that does, yes. They blame the United States. for what's going on in Venezuela. And even if this guy's right, you're seriously telling me that you're going to trade this guy, the devil you know, for a Hezbollah-supported, connected Syrian Druze? You think that's going to make life better? A man who's already been charged in U.S. court with money laundering and had $500 million worth of assets seized. You think that's going to fix the problems in Venezuela? I just don't. You know, I try to make these videos as eloquent as I can, and today it's very, very hard to do so because I'm so angry. I mean, yeah, I'm just an army guy. But what happened last June with the Fitzgerald is undeniable. It deserves at least a second look, especially at the ACX crystal, which nobody has investigated. The guy was questioned for 24 hours and released. To my knowledge, the crew, nobody bothered to look into at all. And you can find the fact that the man is from Bislik in the Philippines. At that time, ISIS was at its height in the southern part of the Philippines. But nobody bothered to look into the transponder that clearly we have shown to be a fake, false, non-Class A transponder that would have been required by law. And that, strangely enough, and I wish I would have brought the tab up, when that giant curve happened, he came all the way back around, and then all of a sudden he turned on his Class A, and it started transmitting in the 10-second. Folks who've been with the videos will know what I'm talking about. That was 2:55 in the morning. It was 2:56 when that sailor's father said he got a call from his kid. And I'm going to look back at that because I thought for sure maybe there was just a misunderstanding of the timing, and that perhaps the man in his grief didn't realize something. But now, the more I think about it, him having been a sailor himself, the father, would have known how to easily convert the time in his head. And I very much doubt he would have, in his grief, cooked up a lie. I'm going to look into that. But this is just beyond anything I can express at this point about these sailors. Pray for them, pray for their families. And I'm also going to mention the McCain here. They're going to charge that captain with dereliction of duty. Go look at the report. From the time this steering casualty or this steering problem was noticed aboard the bridge, a steering casualty, by the way, that they're attributing to a 2.7 knot current. From that time to the time of the collision was less than 5 minutes, and he had 5 people trying to fix it. How in the hell is that dereliction of duty? I defy anyone. And actually, if you look in the report, they fixed it within 5 minutes, but it was just a minute too late. I know we've stuck on this same tab here for a minute, but I have actually been remiss in a couple of things. This young lady did a video last night, and I've talked about her before. And she talked about a subject that nobody's talking about. And I want you to pay attention to this young woman because she's saying something that no one else is saying. And she's doing something no one else is doing. She is taking this argument, this Me Too argument, this let's hate all men argument, right out of the hands of the left and reclaiming it for conservative women. You need to watch this girl because she is going to do more for the cause of conservative women. Here she's talking about this episode of Law and Order SVU where they pretty much advocate the rape of conservative women for being conservative. And she very eloquently says we need to stop the war on men. And she's absolutely right. Absolutely right about it. Maybe there'll start to be some accountability and real men can stand up and have the courage to speak out against issues like what's going on with the Fitzgerald, like what's going on with the McCain. And there's another channel, too, that I have not mentioned, and I have been remiss. Jason Goodman, a long time ago, gave the channel a huge shout-out. And he did so as well. I don't know if it was something that was a coincidence, but he was reporting on the exact same thing that we were reporting on yesterday about the Fitbit. In his interview with Quinn Michaels, and he was talking about how it shows all sorts of hidden bases around the world. So thank you to him. Also a thank you to Third Eye Radio Network. Now they're a much smaller channel, but they have been giving us a bunch of great press. And this guy is blind, and he runs a YouTube channel. And no excuses here. I mean, the guy does a fantastic job. The fact that he's only got 1,000 subs is shocking to me. It's absolutely stunning. I have heard that James Munder has been located. He's just having a hard time, and he just needs a break. And believe me, I identify with that. I might be taking one myself here pretty quick. Because it gets rough. It really does, to see your friends get attacked and see, you know, the injustice for our finest sailors. I know I'm an Army guy, but there ain't no light in between us when it comes to civilian authorities. You know, we may razz amongst ourselves, but when you go after one of us, there ain't no Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard. We rally around our own. And we're going to continue to do that. And we're going to continue to shout about the Navy, just like in 1941, blaming a commander of a base, and in this case, commanders of ships, one of which was asleep. He was asleep, having left orders that allegedly, according to the Navy, weren't followed. Being charged with dereliction of duty, only having been aboard for 30 days. They're going to hold the culture of that ship accountable to him. Ruin his life. You know, I hope, Trump supporters, that what you say is true. I really do. I really hope that the next 8 years will bring a change, will bring accountability, will bring a sense of right and wrong back, and a sense of normalcy back to America, where this crap won't happen anymore. And someone besides myself will stand up for these guys. I'm going to leave it there. Like, share, subscribe. In the next couple of weeks, I have been asked multiple times over the last 6 or 7 months to look into other things. Sandy Hook, the Vegas shooting, 9/11. I've hesitated to do so here because I've wanted to maintain the focus on these men. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a Patreon. There's still going to be videos here on YouTube, and we're still going to continue this. But what I think I'm going to do in the Patreon is try to bring some of my skills to bear in an educational setting. We're going to use those conspiracy theories and those events as templates to show how the deep state, that you use that term, I don't, but we'll just go with shadow government, deep state, same group of people, how they use language and little tweaks in the syntax to make you think things that aren't true. And how the media does the same thing. I'll have more details about what's going on with Patreon. I'm still setting it up. There's going to be different levels, of course. Jennifer Hammonds is also has a Patreon. And the best thing about her channel, she doesn't monetize. She only sells makeup. And if you really want to help this girl out, she's got, Valentine's Day coming up. Go buy something for your girlfriend, your wife, your daughters from her to support her. so that she can continue. I mean, you're going to have to buy something anyway, right? You know, why not support a patriot? Why not support someone who's standing up for truth and righteousness and how America should be? I mean, that's what I'm going to do. So, anyway, but yeah, she's going to have a Patreon too, where she's going to kind of take a turn and a pivot towards anti-human trafficking. So, Third Eye Radio Network, Jason Goodman, James Munder, pray for him. Glad he's going to be back soon. Finally, we are getting some traction for these sailors. So, like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it. Pray for these sailors. God bless y'all.